The Philippines made history after winning the arbitration case against China in the South China Sea dispute. 7 years later, China continues to harass Philippine vessels. Even Filipino fishermen are not spared. Not a few wonder, does the arbitral ruling still matter, with China refusing to acknowledge it? Former Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio proposes to bring the matter to the United Nations to enforce the decision. This, Carpio says, will put international pressure on China. Some senators support this. For the former head of the Foreign Affairs Department legal team that went to The Hague, there should be a framework.
Because if we do pieces by piece without relevance to the entire framework, what's going to happen is just yung posporo, spark, and then that's nothing. Whenever we do something, we have to know exactly what is it that we're trying to achieve. And so the UN could be part of that process, could be a component.
But for Solicitor General and retired Justice Francis Hardileza, if the government would pursue this option, the country should be ready to contend with China's veto power.
While we can go before the General Assembly of the UN to debate China's action and possibly get majority support or a majority vote, this would still not be binding as far as China is concerned.
According to Hardileza, litigation options would be the better way for the country. He says the government can file another case before an ad hoc tribunal under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS or International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea or ITLOS. Instead of hiring expensive foreign lawyers, Hardileza says, let the Office of the Solicitor General take the lead.
Essentially, litigation options would be the better way for the country. The OSG can choose from a menu of possible claims, including, for example, a claim for damages or other provisional reliefs.
The advantage of filing a new case, he explains, is that it can be finished in 3 years. Nonetheless, Hardileza points out the final say is still with President Bongbong Marcos, who's the country's chief architect. Anjo Alimario, CNN Philippines.